Guys, look, hey, Twitch, say hi to YouTube. YouTube, say hi to Twitch. Okay, if you're watching from YouTube, you can put it in the comments, all that other stuff. Make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already, so you can catch when the content drops. This is round 5, as we're doing the round 5 analysis. And today was just nothing. It was all draws today, nothing at all. So let's see what happened. Okay, here we go. So we got Ding Liren versus or Rajabov versus Ding Liren here, and we have D4 Knight F6 C4 E6, right? G3, and then you have Bishop B4. This is a Catalan, and I like to see the Bishop B4 check. So I was definitely interested from the black side of this Catalan here, because Ding Liren played Bishop B4 check. Bishop B4 check actually is a real thing, and I like that he played this. And this is something that I would play because of the lines that I've studied. Excuse me. So. Okay, after knight to d2, I have castles from Ding Liren. Bishop g2 is still theory, d5, and we can honestly fly through a lot of moves here because this is all theory. b6, bishop b7 is theory, knight d7 still theory, rook c8 kind of theory. In fact, rook c8 I haven't seen so quickly. I've seen queen e7 though, c5, but actually, I mean, I have seen some rook c8. I've also seen this bishop either take or go to e7. So it being on b4 still is kind of strange, but it's whatever. Rook c8. Rook c1, queen e7. So now there is no a3, and the bishop gets to stay here. So I'm like, shoot, this is like an improved version for black of the Catalan with the bishop on b4 still. So he goes e3 and then c5. Really every opening is the same in one aspect or a few of the development, right? So you see how black is developed, right? Everything's all developed, pieces off the back rank, and white has to still move the queen. Doesn't happen yet. C takes d5, bishop takes d5. We don't want to isolate this pawn. Pawn takes would make this an isolated pawn. You can do it, but why, right? So bishop takes makes most sense, and then queen to e2. Kind of a very almost symmetrical position, almost, right? This bishop is like these two bishops here, I guess, are kind of the same, even though they're on opposite colors. Because it's weird. It's very strange. But here, this bishop here, sorry, let's go back. This bishop right here is opposing this one, and this bishop is not opposing this one here. I mean, I do like black, to be honest. But the queens are the same, the knights are the same, pawn structure's almost the same. You see zeros from the engine here. You also see the rooks are lined up here. I mean, this is like not a aggressive position by far, right? You know what I mean? So it's crazy. Shout out to you. Ben's Choice says, how do I get the gear? I like the hats. Well, I'm glad you asked. In fact, it is right there in the chat. COE, Canty merch, right? Of course, shout out to all of you. They get something from the channel. Shout out to you, Dale's Flask. I just got that from you. Appreciate you so much. Love you. Send those videos to me. Send me your games, I mean, and I'll send that video to you. I just got that. Itchy Mira, thanks for the 5 months. What up, Canty? Great win over Paulina. Rough match. Yeah, she's a tough match. She's absolutely a beast. Shout out to her. And that was a crazy match. But shout out to you too, guys. If you purchase something from shopcantymerch.com, I'm gonna send y'all messages when I get off the stream tonight. Personal messages to you. Thank you so much. So back to the candidates here. After queen to e2, what happened? Oh, he took on d4 to get rid of that pawn, and then knight takes. Let's go. We got a raid. Get hype in the chat. Let's go. Quaglon. Thanks for the raid, man. Welcome to the stream. They set and Canty up. Free merch in the mail for the tee up. What do you think other players think about Rajabov's timidity? That's a great question, Itchy. I think that they know that they shouldn't underestimate Rajabov, but he's not in his greatest form. That's what I think. I think that they know that Rajabov can hit you. He's hitting the candidates, and he will swing, and he will beat you if you play around. But he is not someone that they are scared of, to say the least, right? So, you know, that's what I think about. That's what I think they're thinking about Rajabov. But I mean, you know, it's whatever, right? We still have to see more, and they got lots of games left. So after knight takes d4, they trade. You see this trade here, and then knight e5. Honestly, this was really strong. I don't know if this was prep or what. I was like, I never considered this move, right? And you see it's number 2 on the engine. Here, let me turn off the engine, and let's look at some moves here. I actually considered e5. E5 because I like threatening things. I also consider rook d8, but that doesn't do anything. And also knight c6 is like GG, right? So, and knight c6 is annoying. So that's probably why e5, knight c6. Interesting. That's why knight e5, because knight c6 is coming. But knight e5, like, you can go queen d6, maybe knight c4, I don't know, like, strange. But knight e5, like, it feels like you can just get kicked away, right? Like, immediately. Which it does actually happen at some point. But e4 happened first. rook d8, takes, and then f4, but there's no knight c6. He went knight g6 and knight c4. And I mean, as you see here, like, this is just like nothing, right? If for both sides. Lots of play left, but generally just I'm trying to improve my position. I like this move from Ding here, queen b7, attacking the weak pawn. a3, hitting the bishop. There is no weird like knight takes e4 and discoveries because queen f3. Bishop c5. Rook d1 defends the pawn now. b5 hits the knight, maybe knight a5. Knight d2. Okay, so let's think. We don't have the engine on. I don't remember what he played here, but let's see. Hanging. Maybe just a6. This is hanging. Kind of annoying. a6, yeah, played. Okay. It's kind of annoying. Knight c3. Rook d8. Knight e7. Interesting. Maybe knight c6 next. h6. Bishop b6. And here, I think they got to a point where Rajabov started shuffling. Because, like, he didn't have anything to do anymore. There comes a point in your position, and this is very good to understand. There comes a point in your position where you actually cannot improve your position anymore. The Maraxi bind of the Sicilian, believe it or not, once you get the ideal setup, like pawns in the triangle formation is what they call it, formation. You go like here, like pawns are like a2, b3, c4, e4, f3, g2. Triangle formation. Here. Rooks are like in the center, like sometimes c1, d1, e1. It's like here. Right. And your pieces are ideally placed behind the pawns. But the problem with the Maraxi bind sometimes is that they say is that you can't improve the position more. So I think that's where Jabov had that problem. All his pieces were on the ideal squares. Everything was ideally placed. Like everything. But he couldn't like push. He couldn't like push or anything. Right. Okay, so let's go back. So what did he play? Let me flip the board actually. I think Ding had an advantage at the move before the 40 move limit to increase the clock by an hour, but made an inaccuracy and ended up in a draws position. We're gonna check that. Or move 25. Okay. Move 40 is time. H3, rook d8, pinning, makes sense. Queen c2. How do we progress? I think he repeated here. Rook c8. And then he repeated, but then he did something else. h5. Stopping g4. Asking white, what are you going to do? h4. Makes a hole. He plugged the hole. Very nice. I think this is where he played f6. Not here because this is hanging. Well, wait a second. Like, do I just let him take it? No, we can't let him do that, right? Maybe we go back. He went here. We do go back, but to f6. Because this was kind of annoying. Like, queen b2 is just super... Or queen g7. He's going to follow Nate the Great. 64. Rook c8. Hit the queen. We go back to the same position again. Knight g4. Queen d7. Now we have a little bit of difference here. Queen d7. Rook d2. They just shuffling. I mean, they're literally just shuffling pieces. Ding is really wanting to win this game. Which I like that. You got to commend that kind of play. f6. If knight takes, you can take on e4. A lot of stuff. And a lot of stuff. Kenti is concerning that all these moves are so natural. Does that mean Ding and Raja are not up for winning candidates already? What are you talking about? What are you even saying right now? In fact, a lot of these moves are not natural, in fact. But we just, we're moving through a lot of stuff because we got 4 games to look at. But everything was a draw today, and this stuff was tough. It was very tough, as we see. I'm trying to figure this out, actually, still. Queen d3. I remember he was trying to play for a win. He played f6, which is best move. Knight takes, you have queen takes. I wonder, do you take with the queen, though? Or the rook? There's queen d8. Nope, you take, so... Queen takes? It's got to be queen takes. Right? And it just says no. Interesting. So is it rook takes? Or is it check? Just rook takes. Wow. Oh, because rook e3 too. Wow. There's a lot of threats here. There is a lot of stuff happening. f6, king h3, queen to c8, with the idea of playing e5 and opening up the king. e5 himself, and that's losing, bro. Bruh. Okay, let's try to find it. I don't know what the move is, but COE, right? Calculation over everything. Of course, make sure shopcandymerch.com. 100%, right? COE. We got to calculate. Okay, so this is -5. Did he find it? Okay, so he didn't find it. He didn't find it. But what is the move? I don't know. Let's see. I'm interested. Bishop takes. I don't know. F5, bishop takes. Wow. If you're watching from YouTube, make sure you pause the video here, because we're going to try to figure this out. Bishop takes, yeah. What's up? Cyborg was good? No, it's a hard one. F5, though, I mean, this is like -5.3. You know what I mean? Like, F5 just, like, does not appeal to me at all. For this to be -5, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it is, but, like, still, that is an engine move for real. Exchange and then F5? So you mean knight f5? Okay, so engine says, oh, it is F5. Wow. Bruh. Bro, what the heck is that? What is this? Ding didn't even play this. Like, he's like F5. Bro, what is this? What is this? It doesn't even... Yo, you gotta be kidding me. You see this? The engine says play F5 and then it goes to equal. Ah. Garbage. Okay, thanks, JP. Thank you. Thanks for the hydrate, JP. Yeah, that's funny. That's kind of funny, huh? That's -3. You know what? This is why we don't look at the engine all the time, right? Pawn takes, pawn takes. Like G6. Okay, this was. I'm not gonna lie. This is a move that, like, bro, you tripping. There's got to be something better than G6. But I'm sure he looked, and he is 2800. So, like, don't disrespect the man. Come on now. But I mean, G6 only what? G6? Come on, G6 ain't nothing else. Nothing. Let me see the engine. Yeah, that's move number 3. Like, there's got to be something else. But, like, the follow-up. So what's the follow-up? Let me read the line. What I like to do, and you should as well, is read the line and try to do it in your head. So what is he saying? What's the compensation the engine is saying? Bishop takes, knight takes, queen a8. Oh, that threatens mate. Wow. Kinda. Queen b1. What? Why doesn't he go knight f3, though? Oh, knight f2. Oh my... Wait. No, you can't go there. I'm interested. Okay, so bishop takes, knight takes. You have to tell me. Queen a8, knight f3? Just knight f5. This is hard. This is hard. This is the engine type of win. You know what I mean? Bruh. This is the engine type of compensation. Not like the human, I can see it all, and this is very clear type of compensation. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is difficult. So, I mean, you have to give Ding the credit that is deserved. Because this is very difficult. You have to find queen a8 and, like, all this extra engine stuff. So, practical, G6. But it's still G6. What was he afraid of? A knight G5. That's what it is. So if I go queen a8 now, what happens? Takes. Okay. Maybe 7, same? Yeah. Huh. What a position. What a position. Engine is so bad, exactly. That was move 40. He had less than 20 seconds. Oh, this was move 40. Ah, this was what he was talking about. Oh, right here. Yeah, and you don't have time. Like, I mean, it's understandable, bro. Like, you don't have time either. Like, come on. Move 40. He just played G6. Because I'm like, yo, Ding is so strong. And for him to play G6 doesn't make any sense. Bruh. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, G6, out of all the moves here, I know he could have found something else. That's what I said first. But that makes sense. He didn't have time. He knew he messed up right after. Yeah. He didn't have time. That's tough. You have to use the time as a piece. If he pushed the pawn instead of trading, it was less complicated on move 39. Yeah. They probably took several minutes on those moves. I can move one piece in 4 seconds. What's up, Cool Out? Was good, bro. Thanks. Congrats on the match. You're finding the moves the GMs couldn't. Lightning speed. Hey, man, look. I'm just going to keep grinding and putting in the time and the work. Putting in the work, and then the results will come. Appreciate it. Cool Out. I saw you, bro. I saw you in the chat. Okay, knight G5. Took on D4. I mean, now I like this Queen A8 idea because it's all in my head now from the engine, but I've also... I had that Shuvalova game there. Oh, man. Bro, that one. Yo, that was a lucky game. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I was winning, but then I gave it back, but then I won. But this... I'm definitely familiar with this idea, my guy. Definitely familiar with this idea. Queen A8. Oh, that was played. That was in the game. Queen F3. Takes. Now knight F5. Knight C6. But here is just zeros. There's nothing. There's nothing. There's not. In fact, you have to be careful. But then, I mean, he got to be careful too. Like, you got, you know, knight sacks and like mating ideas. So white can't be too optimistic. Knight takes. Yeah. This is great. Knight G4 is a no? Wait. Knight G4. It says I can take this. And then what? Oh, Bishop G1. Bro, are you kidding me? How do you get away with that? How do you get away with this move? That's too funny. The only defensive resource, Bishop G1. This never works. This literally never works, yo. Shout out to you, yo. Somebody just copped a That's Not a Move baseball cap. Shout out to you. Whoever's that. Whoever bought that. Who was that? Who bought that? Somebody just bought something from the store right here, as you can do the same. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Somebody just bought something. What about Rook A2 after? I mean, right? I mean, like this. Oh, but Rook takes A6. It's automatic. Automatic, like, what are you doing, right? An automatic slap to the back of your neck real fast. You ever got slapped to the back of your neck, fam? You ever got slapped on the back of your neck by somebody else? You know what I mean? That's exactly how that ain't gonna feel too good. That ain't gonna feel too good. So let's flip that. Okay, Rook E2. Knight D3. He says no, I haven't. Yeah, that's what. This is gonna be your first time there, Quantum. Knight D3. Okay, Rook takes E6. All right, Rook takes E6 happens, and it's a draw. This is just a draw. Like, that's it. That's it. Game over. And they drew right here. This was actually it. They drew right there. So that was game over. Okay, why do I got this thing planned? So that was a game over. That was a draw. This was Ding Liren and Rajabov. That one's done. Round 5. Ding Liren, Rajabov, out of there. Then we had Ali Reza and Duda will move in order of kind of like, you know, how spectacular games were. Stuff like that. Let's go to Ali Reza game. This was there was 2 Petrovs, right? Petrovs, or the Russian system here. He played D4. I'm still a fan of Knight C3, to be honest. But D4 is very fun, and Wesley has some nice lines with this. There's nice lines, period, which is D4 now, but I think Black really equalizes very quickly with the D4 lines in certain areas. Knight C3 they can too, but I think, I mean, honestly, you can mix it up still. And that extra pawn, when they do take it, like this, when they do take it, does help shelter the king. But it is theoretically studied, as everything is at this point. Theoretically studied very deeply. So D4, D5, Bishop D3, Bishop F5. I mean, Black's just as good as White is. No problems. Castle, Bishop E7. I develop, you develop. Literally no problems for Black. Rook E1, Knight D2, Knight F1, sort of Roy Lopez fashion. But I mean, even trading the light square bishops, like, this is not the most appealing position for White, to be honest. I mean, Black is doing just as fine as Black is. Or White is doing, yeah, and Black is doing just as fine as White, and White is doing just as fine as Black. So Rook E8, C4, and C5, we have stuff like that, Knight E5, Knight H5. I don't have that much, bro, I really don't. Bishop F6, I remember in commentary they were saying that how White is the favorite because of the moves you can make. You have a Knight H5 opportunity. You might have a Knight G5. You have prospects, like a lot of prospects, but there's really nothing, especially with great defense. Flip the board due to being a great defender. I mean, it's really not enough. And actually, me playing with the black pieces here, you know, it's funny. My first move is G6 here, and the engine says G6. But I love G6. I don't have to worry about the dark square weaknesses as much because I have a dark square bishop. I stop knight h5 and f5 forever. I mean, it reminds me of Akira Khan, which is a specialty of Duda, in fact. So Duda is just fine here, I think. Very comfortable. He plays the Akira Khan. I mean, this looks beautiful. But he plays something else. He actually goes with the rook takes e1 option. Taking, he's just saying I'm going to trade more. Take, isolate the pawns, make it a little bit harder for you. So if I flip, right, these are isolated. So if you're trying to do too much, you could actually lose, and you can find yourself in a worse position because you got isolated pawns. These are actually called hanging pawns, is the name of the structure. But what hanging pawns are is basically two isolated pawns. You push one, the other one's super weak. You push the other one's super weak. So you got to be very careful, and you have to understand what you're doing, right? You know, but these boys know what they're doing. B5, look at that. He tries to attack one of the weak ones. So he takes, leaving one weak one, which is very smart from Firouzja. So it's just only one weak pawn now. Bishop to a5. I thought this was very brilliant here. I thought this was a great move, and it's also engine did too, right? Photo chat says, "Sheesh, yo, Maria, what's up, yo?" Shout out to Maria in the building. What up? Hey, yo, Maria been everywhere, bro. Hey, Maria, we saw you all over the streams. Maria been taking all the pictures. Shout out to Photo Chess. She actually do be taking all the pictures y'all see on the internet and stuff like that. It'd be because of Photo Chess. Maria there. We saw you on the live stream a few times there. Shout out to Photo Chess with the 5-month sub. Good to see you. What's up? I need a drink right behind her. Maria, stop following me. You funny. I need a drink. Thanks for being here. Yeah. Need a drink is a great mod. Shout out to her. What up? Which Quantum Knights has a birthday tonight too. He turned 40, so it's lit through here. Make sure you guys follow if you're new to the stream. It's a party as we actually look at this candidates right now. Do this analysis, finish up, and then we're gonna keep the party moving. May have some more analysis and some tournaments and maybe some giveaways tonight. I don't have a photo of the best player too. Says Photo Chess. Yeah, Photo Chess. That's Maria. Maria's in the chat, y'all. Shout out to Maria, and let's give a big shout out to Maria. Thanks for all the pictures and the work that you're doing over there. You taking all the pictures. We saw you over there recording and doing that on the ChessCom commentary and stuff like that. No, it's Quantum Knight's birthday. I need a drink. Quantum Knights. Bishop a5, knight c4. Right, this is Duda and Firouzja's game. Knight c4 takes. Here, honestly, he played this beautifully. I think Duda played this beautifully here. He's a nice Akira Khan player. He knows how to play these positions that are just whatever. I'm taking a draw. Plays a4, a6, takes, a takes b5, and I mean I got a pass pawn. You got a pass pawn. What you want to do, bro? Like, what you want to do, bro? Let's get it. Like, what you want to do? Knight c3, queen d7. Okay, right. Same. It's nothing. This is gonna end in a draw. Rook b1, knight d6. If you take, which he does, take, and then he takes on d4. What a move. Bishop takes d4 because there's back rank trouble for both sides. This is a crazy one. Tacky, thanks for the 3 months, bro. No photo of the future. I am not a GM champ. Let me compose myself. Excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, Photo Chess was correct there. Excuse me. So yes. Let's get back to what we were saying. Thanks for the prime. Thanks for the 3 months, Tacky, the penguin. 3 months, bro. Appreciate it so much, man. And this is as we go through these games. Everything was a draw today, if you want to know, right? Come on, Bishop takes d4, right? Bishop takes, knight takes d4. Rook a1 check. Slowly, please. Oh, a little slow as we can, Brucellos, because it's not a lot here today. There's not a lot, and you can go through these slower on your own time as well. These are available, chess.com/events. You'll be able to see it. I'll actually link this to you right now. This is the Firouzja game, but this is a link to everything else as well if you wanted to follow this on your own. We're having a watch party on Friday. Let's go. Oh, I was about to say, oh, I'm coming through too, but then I realized I'm playing. I was like, oh yeah, I'll be there. Of course I'm going to be there. I'm going to be playing Trent on Friday. Thanks, Maria. Make sure y'all there at Maria's channel. That's going to be fun. You guys can go watch at Maria's channel because I'm going to be playing my guy. I'm going to be playing Orange Trent. And it's going down. A shout out command actually didn't work there for some reason. Thank you. I don't know why it didn't work. I need a drink. And I'm the one streaming, right? It's strange. Knight takes b5. Rook takes b5. Bishop takes d4, and this ended in a draw after knight takes. Rook a1 check, and then the final move. Here it is. Queen takes d4. Hit that man with a move. That's beautiful. You can't check because you're pinned. I mean, this is beautiful. It's out there. For you, Maria, absolutely 100%. Got him. Done. All right, so look, queen takes d4. After queen takes rook b1, and he's done, right? Queen f1 is the same. Well, queen f1 is just defending everything. So what they did here is after queen f1 takes g6. And this is just a draw. Pawns on the same side. I mean, this was a very, honestly, a boring game. Nothing really happened. Nothing really happened this game as well. What's up, Pushy Discovery? What's good with you? This was a Petrov. Petrovs do actually at high level are more drawn than anything else. What's up, Trouble Donkey, with the CLE emote? You know, every time I see CLE, I have to put it out there. It's just like an automatic thing. It's like CLE, oh wow, calculation over everything. Shopcantymerch.com. And right now, you know, we can use command. In fact, you know what? We'll use I'll use a code. I've got a code for you right now. I'm going to use winners. If you can put this in, I can upload it real quick. Let me move this over. Command winners. Or actually, sorry, not command. Code winners. 15% off at the checkout. I'll let you use it. That's the exchange French. Yeah, something. I mean, kind of. Actually, strangely enough, it's not yet. It's not yet because of C4. That's a sweet looking logo. Thanks, Jameson. Wonsky, appreciate it. But this was a draw. Like, we don't even have to look at this no more. Like, it's literally a draw. That was a draw. We looked at the Rajabov game, draw. We're going to look at Hikaru's game, which was a draw as well, which he has some big boy stuff. Nepo with Hikaru was looking good. Yeah, Nepo was literally tripping. That man was like tripping. Like, what was he doing? But he got the draw. I mean, and honestly, of course, Hikaru, as you see, he's very expressional, or like he uses expressions. You didn't like that, you know, and he didn't like that. I mean, like, he really didn't like what happened in the game. But of course, we had another Petrov here, right? Like two Petrovs in the same round, which is like, do they work together? Like, what is this, right? So thank you so much for that, Anita, that announcement. So d4, d5, and literally, it's the same. It's almost like they work together, right? Because they played the same thing. But this one, he played a little bit different. Jan played knight c6, castles, bishop e7, playing quickly too. c4, I remember this from looking at like some very deep files in this. c4, pawn takes, knight c3, like, but I'm still not the biggest fan of this line with the white pieces. But of course, you know, Hikaru playing c4 here. He gonna play what he want to play. Knight b4, bishop e2, we get out the way so we don't let him take the bishop pair. Makes total sense. Castles and then knight c3, I like it. Nice development. Right, bishop f5, he says, no, I don't want to get hit with a tempo, which is important. a3 still gets hit with a tempo. Takes, I got to go back. Right, rook e1, I like these positions. I mean, I got the two bishops. I mean, black does too. But okay, it's level. It's level, right? It's whatever. Rook e8, rook a2. I like this move with a little double action. Maybe tuck the bishop, tuck and roll on f1. Maybe we'll take, play c4. Rook b2, I mean, it's a nice move. A nice way to activate. Again, zeros here. We just maneuvering. We trying to see what's going on. My man's Jan play bishop f8. Open up the file with a smile. C takes d5. After C takes, queen takes, and then c4, which is something we want to see anyway. We just looked at the hanging pawn structure before, as we know that the hanging pawns, the structure here, is basically two isolated pawns. As you saw with Duda, where he played like c5 or whatever he played, to hit one of the pawns. Maybe it was b5, I think. And then hit one of the pawns. But it's very important to understand that you have to attack these at all costs. Because if they get mobile and start moving, you could get your head cracked, big fella. For real. So after c4, he went queen e4. And Jan out here looking crazy. I remember looking at this, and I was like, what is he doing? And Hess ripped him up. Hess ripped him up. I think everyone doing commentary ripped up Jan right here. Literally just destroyed him. Like, Jan, what are you doing with your life? Like, what are you doing? I mean, this is Garbo. Like, what are you doing? Like, stop it now. You know what I mean? Like, Queen 4 was really bad. It was so bad. And he blitzed it out. 14 seconds from the chat here. It says 14 seconds, you know. Oh, my goodness. But isn't this a pawn island? Isolated as a pawn with the support of other pawns. That wasn't, I've been told in the club at least. Yeah, in fact, the hanging pawn structure are strong, but these are, if you push one, like if we looked at the Duda game, when he played b5 and he traded, it left one isolated. So these are, you have to treat them as two isolated pawns in a way, and from the black side, from the defense way, because hanging pawns here, they can be strong, But if you push one, then one becomes super weak. You push the other one becomes super weak. Also, Spassky says the square in front of the pawn is the most important. So as in controlling the square is important. If you push, and let's just make a random move, and then c5, and you get to see that the square in front of the pawn is the most important, this becomes an absolute disgusting pawn to deal with because it's super weak. So you have to be very careful with these, the hanging pawn structure, because when you push one, it creates holes and etc. around it, and they're also kind of weak because they're isolated. So understanding the pawn structure helps you understand the plans for the game. Queen e4 is deep though. We thought, Queen b1 and like, oh, he's clever and like, Jan got his time where he turning up, right? He won Canada's last year. Jan has his time where that man gonna work, but this was not one of the times. My man's was tripping here. Queen e4 against Hikaru, right? It just was not gonna work out. But look at the engine though, right? It says it's still fine. It's still fine. So in fact, it wasn't that bad. And Queen d7, but let's flip it, right? What in your right mind, what in your wrong mind would make you play Queen e4 here? You know what I'm saying? Who in the chat, raise your hand, honestly, in the chat, are you going to play Queen e4 here? Or are you going to move the queen back to d7? Is there anyone, I'm just very curious, we just want to see who in the chat right now. Are you going to play Queen e4 or put your queen on d7? What you going to do? What you going to do, chat? The engine likes white more after bishop. Absolutely. Queen b7. I mean, I like that because you can't even go there. Bruh. You know what I'm saying? I would play Queen b7 over Queen e4. You can't even go Queen b7. I understand you, Dale Slash. 100%. I played Queen e3. I'll lose a rook. Yeah, okay. All right. Let me put that up for you. There we go. All right. And look at Kari plays e4. I was like, yeah, I mean, Queen d7. Correct. There you go, Dale's class with Queen d7. There, yeah, correct. 100%. But I mean, if we could go to b7, that's better than e4. Flip the board. Queen e4 happens. He goes there. Hikaru played bishop f1. He looking at him all crazy. He making all the faces like, bro, what are you doing? This is garbage. Like, come on, bro. Queen g4, right? Hit him with ace3. And this, I mean, Jan was at one point, guys, did y'all remember this? If he was watching ChessCom broadcast, he was praying, bro. He was sitting there like this. And he was sitting there. And I'm praying with him. I'm like, dang, bro. Shoot, man, yeah, Lord help him. Sheesh. Lord help him. Like, dang. Sheesh. Yeah, bro. He was sitting there praying, bro. You saw that, right? Remember the hands? He was sitting there praying at the board. Everybody in the chat. I was in the chat, too, in ChessCom. He was sitting there praying, fam. Right here. He was sat. I don't know how long he took to think here, but he was praying. And he was sitting there like... Yo, he was just, you could tell he was distraught. And then Robert Hess said he was red in the face. And I'm like, yeah, this is about to be bad. And then, so he takes on e1, he takes, and Queen e4. Now, the thing about being, and I think somebody said, actually Hess said this, maybe it was Danny, but they were saying that, you're on form, right? When, or they were saying that they were asking someone when you're on form, right? And the on form thing is like when you can defend bad positions, not just winning all the time, but when you can defend bad positions. And what I mean by that is, I mean, it's plus 2.4. Everything is saying Hikaru should win this game. Not everything, but we're pushing towards converting an advantage or trying to convert the advantage here. But Jan actually being very good and in form right now, he's trying to defend this bad position. Let's see, right? Rook e2, Queen d3, which was actually really strong. I think that was move number one. It was Queen d3. That's literally only move. My goodness. That's only move, by the way. Queen d3 is only move. Put yourself in a self, like, move the rook somewhere. Self x-ray. That's 2800 stuff. That's gross. Queen d3, only move. Rook b2 played. Right, Hikaru hit b2. Cool, we go back. You want to draw, big fella? He says, no, not yet. Queen d3. You want to draw, big fella? Nope, because of rook e3, obviously. Queen b1. And then d5, and I remember seeing this, 97. Oh, he's supposed to play g4 here. Oh, that's tough. It's a tough move, bro. Knight d2. I like knight d2. See, that's queen c2, though, right? Let's play queen e1, queen a1. Staying on the bishop. We can't take. I mean, this is so annoying. Like, how does your queen... I would be irritated, too. Like, if I'm Hikaru, because, I mean, you could tell the irritation on his face, bro. When we saw queen a1, like... Come on, bro. Your queen's on a1. I mean, this position feels terrible for black. But it's not about what feels, it's about what you can calculate and what is actually right on the board. And that's through calculation, COE. Knight B3, Queen F6, Bishop D2 with Bishop to C3 intentions. Oh yeah, I remember watching this. Knight G6, Knight A5. And that I was like, what is Knight A5? Like, I mean, every other move seems like, I mean, but Hikaru's 2800, so like basically you can't really question. Like, yeah, I mean, you can't question many things like he does. You can, obviously, but then at the same time, you're like, bro, come on, like 95, like we have Bishop C3, G4, like I mean, anything else, obviously, just like, just looks like there's more. But he plays 95. And then he said he tilted at that point. Oh, that's where he tilted. Oh, okay, that's understandable. 95 just doesn't like. There's not even any pieces over here. This is why it isn't as good, because there's not even a piece. Like it's a one move threat kind of thing. He plays Rook B8 and just defends it or something. B6, right? And I mean, he put the knight on C6, and this is where I think they ended up drawing. But here and then here, yeah, and they drew. And that was it. And Cargan couldn't get anything out of it, but it is what it is, right? You know, it happens. One mistake there. Jan got away with one. But, I mean, to say the least, he is in form. He is in form. He's beaten Ding. He had another win. I forgot. Who else did he beat? Who else did he beat? We have it right here. He won twice, right? Did he win 2 times? Jan, or maybe he won 1 game, and that's why he has more points. Jan here, draw. He beat, oh yeah, he beat Ali Reza, bro. He has wins. And that was a crazy, I mean, that was a crush, right? That was an absolute crush. Make you scared to play the knight or, bro. I mean, obviously you have to play H5 there, not, the castle line you can play, but you see, I mean, look, probably H5 gonna be the main line after that game. After that game, you probably won't castle anymore in the knight or if you're just gonna play H5 instead of castles to take care of that G4 move, because that was woof. Sheesh, if you missed it, make sure you catch the recap on that. Let's check the last game here, which was the craziest game, which was the Richard Rapport game and Fabiano. Oh my goodness. Yikes. This was fun because I like this from both sides, to be honest. And I loved seeing Fabi playing Open Sicilian because it's very creative. I mean, he crushed MVL back last year in the candidates. Y'all remember that? Oh my goodness, destroyed him. Waited a whole year. Y'all remember that? Waited a whole year to hit that man with that nasty P-sack, this and that. Like, I mean, this is a family channel. We can't talk about that. So knight C3, right, A6, and then G4. This is actually not newer, but I think on the newer side of like catching up of like a theory. G3 I've seen a lot. G4, I'm a fan of this. I even have a game with Alonso Zapata in the timing off, which I should have won, right? It's just called One Idea. You can catch it on my YouTube channel. One Idea, where I actually was winning and then just chose the wrong idea. If I chose the right idea, then I'm beating the GVM off the board, right? But this G4 move is very provocative, and it kind of stops a knight of 6 or it kind of trolls you, because if you play knight of 6, I am going to play G5 at some point. So he posed knight G to E7, right? It deters you from playing knight of 6, and it's also aggressive. I'm a big fan of G4. So bishop to E3, right? Is still developing. Rook G1, H4, F4. You push all these pawns up, and you usually castle queenside is the plan. Bishop goes here. Fun games, like very fun. B5, knight to B3. Interesting. Dang, that's move number 1 too. Sheesh. I guess because it takes him replacing. So he doesn't. This is a super. I cannot say that word. Superfluous knight. Bro, I always get that word. I can never say this word correctly. Superfluous knight, whatever it is, but it's the same knight. And Devereski talks about this, where you just want to replace this knight. Superfluous. Thank you. Superfluous. Freak City, babe. Thank you. Yes, that's what he calls it. So knight to b3, he doesn't want to have his knight replace itself. Right? He doesn't want it to replace itself at all. Superfluous. Okay. Emphasis on per. Okay. Thanks, chat. Knight a5. So he goes knight a5. This is not strange, but this is definitely different. And of course, you know that we're Richard Rapport. So, okay, queen to d2, though. Queen to d2, which is very nice. You're obviously going to castle. We want to do this anyway. This is stuff we do anyway, but okay, whatever. Asked you, actually. Anita, you funny. Knight takes, A takes, right? Bishop b7, bishop g2. So I like this. F4, F5, H4, H5, G5. Big fan. Everything 5. Knight to G6. You are playing richer rapport, so he's stopping your H4. Also here, this was really a key here. I remember sitting here and thinking on my own, because I like to look at it like this. I always like to click on vote. I'm not actually ever voting. I just don't want to see the moves and the analysis all the time. So I want to work on this on by myself. And I say this in every video, every recap, that this is a great way to work on your own game and to actually try to learn and try to see and try to guess moves. Is what would you do here? And I remember looking at knight g6 and I'm like, bro, knight h4 is annoying. And I was very, very like impressed by Fabi's move after he played rook f1, which is move number 3 on the engine. I actually was going to go with castle. But rook f1 is, I like this move even better than castling. If you go knight h4, I'm going to put the bishop on h1. Flex real hard. Like, when do you put a bishop on h1? That's cool. That's a cool move. And then I can play f4 and f5. And like, this rook is really cool played. It's really neatly placed here. I thought that was a brilliant move by Fabi. Rook f1. So after knight h4, we play bishop h1. Just like, whatever. Like, so who cares? My bishop's still a monster. Like, a sweet move. So bishop to c6, though, not played. And then he plays g5, which the engine didn't like this that much. But it's whatever. Like, I mean, actually, I understand. I mean, it really doesn't do anything. It really doesn't do anything. It's not a tempo move, which it doesn't attack anything. You might see f4, f5, like whatever. But he played g5, a5, and then you play f4, but you probably could have played just f4 in one move, which the engine actually agrees. You probably just could have played f4 in one move, but he didn't like queen h4 check here, which I totally understand. Rook f2, queen takes g4, f5 takes, castle. There's a lot. Maybe bishop f3 there, rook back low. I can draw a lot of arrows here. Where does the queen go? You got to go all the way back, castle. It's too much, which I understand. He wanted to go this more solid route. G5. Defend the pawn first, so I never even have to worry about the check ever. A5, then F4. That was a very practical move from Fabi. Playing G5. Stopping queen H4 check for good. A4. Oh, this is where it got crazy. He played rook D1, got out the way, so I'm not castling. Bishop B4, put him with the little pin. He plays queen D4 and hits the bishop. And then Richard Rapport, right, answers the best defense is offense, right? So instead of defending the bishop by like moving it or taking, he says, Queen A5, go ahead. Take the pawn, bro. I dare you to take on G7. I dare you. He takes on G7. No threats around the black king at all. Nothing. F5, maybe. In fact, that is a pretty annoying threat. There is tactics you have to calculate with bishop G2. I think we might be okay here. But think is not enough. You do have to be 100% accurate or very close. Very, very close, to be honest, at this level. So he plays A3, and this is absolutely nuts. This game is absolutely bananas right now. Bro, A3 is nuts. This is Richard Rapport versus Fabi. I mean, the spiciest Sicilian so far, in fact, in the tournament. Besides, actually, the game where Ferrugia, but shoot, Nepo just crushed him. Like, it wasn't even it was nothing. That was just a steamroll. This one is more like what is going on the board. A3 because B2 is hanging and the knight is hanging. So you only move from Fabi, which he found was king F2. Very nice. Taking on B2. And then there was an idea here that that I remember Hess talking about that, and even the engine points out too, is locking the queen in. And there's a perpetual after bishop f8 and bishop e7. So if you make a move, well, first off, the knight is hanging. I mean, this is like forced too. Like, the knight's actually hanging. Like, one of the craziest, like, almost forced draws you would ever see is right here, right? All of this happens. In fact, queen takes g7 is not, I don't think you have to play that. But actually, I mean, it is best. Could have played just king f2, but he went for it. Plays king f2. Taking, knight has to do something. Best move is knight e2, found by Fabi. And then e5. He had to find this. Like, Richard Rapport, what a beast. He had to find e5. He had to. Because their queen is trapped. So I'm going to take a draw here by bishop f8 and bishop e7. If you play f5, bishop f8, bishop e7, bishop f8. And it's a draw. Like, what a draw, bro. I've never seen this type of play, right? I mean, or at least in this type of Sicilian either. Like, this is crazy. E5, I don't remember what happened here. Oh, he went F5. And this is exactly what happened. Yeah, this was this was the draw, in fact. Yeah, that was it. There was nothing to do. What a game. Quick draw. Quick draw there by repetition. I mean, amazing. This was probably game of the day. Even though it ended in a draw, this was definitely game of the day, and definitely pick up pointers here. I mean, of like, especially if you play this from white side or the black side, flip the board, like whatever side you play it from, learn from this game. This was a very, very cool game. Very cool game. He didn't go knight f6 when he saw this g4. He went knight e7 and played it differently, which is very, very cool. So this is fire. This was a draw. This was a round 5 of the candidates. So round 6, I think, is tomorrow. Let's check the schedule real quick, guys. The schedule. Or do they have a rest day? Do they have a rest day? Round 5. Round 6 is tomorrow. So in fact, round 6 is tomorrow, 9 Eastern time. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll see you on the next video.